Hello, my friends. I pray that this message finds you and your loved ones in good health and good spirits. Today I want to talk about something so powerful, something that can literally change the quality of your life no matter your age. The truth is, after the age of 50, 60, and especially into our 70s and beyond, our bodies begin to lose muscle. This is called sarcopenia. And when we lose muscle, we lose strength, energy, balance, independence, and even our confidence. Now, many people believe that eggs are the only or the best source of protein for building muscle, but let me tell you, that's not the full truth. There are many other cheap, easily available foods that can help you build and maintain muscle even at 70 years old. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need fancy diets. What you need is consistency and the right choices. So let's go through 7 inexpensive foods that can fuel your muscles and keep your body strong. I want you to really listen carefully to what I'm about to say, because this is one of the most important health truths that can affect your independence, your energy, and the way you live your golden years as we get older, especially after the age of 50 and moving into our 70s and 80s. Our bodies begin to change in ways that we cannot ignore. One of the most significant changes is the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength, a condition known as sarcopenia. Now, many people think that growing old automatically means getting weaker, losing balance, having difficulty walking, and depending on others. But I want you to know this: age alone is not the main reason people lose their independence. It is the loss of muscle, the loss of strength, and the loss of function. And the beautiful truth is this: we have the power to slow this process down. We have the power to maintain strength. And yes, even at 70 years old and beyond, we have the power to build new muscle. Think about this for a moment. Every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, every time you carry groceries or bend down to pick up your grandchild, your muscles are doing the work. They are your engines. They protect your joints. They stabilize your spine. They keep your balance in check so you don't fall. And when those muscles become smaller and weaker, the risk of falling, the risk of fractures, the risk of losing independence skyrockets. This is why maintaining muscle is not just about looking strong. It is about staying alive, staying active, and staying independent. Let's look at the science behind it. Sarcopenia begins gradually, often without us noticing it. After the age of 30, the average person loses about 3-5% of their muscle mass every decade. That means by the time you reach 70, if you haven't taken care of your body, you could lose up to 1/3 or more of your muscle. And when that happens, everything becomes harder. Climbing stairs feels like a mountain. Getting up from the floor feels like a struggle. And simple daily activities drain your energy. But here's the good news: you are not helpless. Your body is a miracle. The same way it can break down, it can also repair, rebuild, and regenerate if you give it the right tools. Those tools are proper nutrition, regular movement, resistance training, and lifestyle choices that support your muscles instead of draining them. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but Doc, I'm too old. I've already lost my muscle. What's the point now? Let me tell you something straight from the heart. It is never too late. Research has shown that even men and women in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who start eating better and doing light resistance training can build new muscle, increase strength, and restore function. That means you can regain energy, stability, and independence at any age. Age is not the barrier, inaction is. So how do we fight sarcopenia? It starts with awareness. Most people don't even realize they are losing muscle until it's too late. They blame fatigue on age. They blame weakness on arthritis. They blame unsteadiness on poor balance. But often the root cause is simply weak, undernourished, unused muscles. Muscles are like engines. If you don't start them, oil them, and use them, they rust. But if you keep them active and fuel them properly, they can last a lifetime. Fuel is another critical part. Muscles need protein to grow and repair. Without enough protein, your body will break down muscle tissue instead of building it. And here's the truth: most older adults do not eat enough protein. They may have tea and toast in the morning, a light lunch, and then a small dinner. That's simply not enough to fuel your muscles. You need consistent quality protein sources spread throughout the day. And no, it doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Simple, inexpensive foods beans, lentils, oats, cottage cheese, peanut butter. These can all help rebuild your strength. But fuel without movement is wasted. You see, your body only builds muscle when it senses a demand. That demand comes from resistance. It could be lifting light weights, using resistance bands, climbing stairs, or even doing bodyweight exercises like squats or push-ups against the wall. When your muscles are challenged, they respond by repairing themselves stronger. But if you do not challenge them, they will shrink. Another key factor in fighting sarcopenia is recovery. Our bodies need sleep and rest to repair. Poor sleep, high stress, smoking, and excessive alcohol all accelerate muscle breakdown. On the other hand, deep rest, hydration, good nutrition, and stress control all support muscle growth and healing. My friends, I want you to envision something. Picture yourself at 70, 80, or 90 years old. Do you want to be sitting in a chair all day, depending on others, unable to climb stairs or walk to the park? Or do you want to be strong, independent, walking with energy, enjoying life, and spending quality time with your loved ones? The path you choose today determines that future. And the path begins with protecting your muscles. So let's not accept weakness as part of aging. Let's not accept frailty as inevitable. Let's not accept that losing independence is the natural order of life. Because it is not. You have a choice. You have the power, and you can take control starting right now. Every meal, every step, every exercise, every healthy choice you make is an investment in your muscle bank. And the more you invest, the more you can withdraw later in life. Don't let sarcopenia rob you of your freedom. Stand tall, move daily, fuel your muscles, and remember your body is your temple. Treat it with love, respect, and consistency, and it will reward you with strength, vitality, and independence for years to come. May God bless you with health, wisdom, and the courage to keep your body strong. Stay active, stay nourished, and most importantly, stay hopeful, because your best years can still be ahead of you. I want you to understand something very important, because too many people have been misled when it comes to nutrition and muscle health. For decades, we've been told that if we want to build strength, if we want to protect our muscles, if we want to recover properly, we need to eat eggs. Lots of eggs. And don't get me wrong, eggs are a very good food. They contain high quality protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. But here's the truth, eggs are not the only option. In fact, if you think eggs are the only path to muscle health, you're missing out on an entire world of affordable, powerful, muscle-building foods that can give you the strength, vitality, and energy you need, even well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. We need to shift our thinking. Nutrition is not about one single food. It's about the overall balance of nutrients that fuel the body. And when it comes to muscle, what your body really craves is high quality protein, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and energy sources that allow your muscles to repair and grow. Eggs can give you those things, but so can many other inexpensive foods that may already be sitting in your pantry. Let me explain why this is so important. Many seniors come to me and say, Doc, I want to eat healthier, but eggs, chicken, and fish are becoming too expensive. Meat prices are going up and I can't always afford them. And I look them straight in the eye and say, don't you worry. There are plenty of other foods, cheap, nutritious, and easily available that can give your muscles exactly what they need. You don't need to break your budget. You don't need to rely only on animal protein. You can stay strong, stay lean, and build muscle with plant-based and dairy-based foods that cost just pennies compared to meat and eggs. For example, let's talk about beans and lentils. These are some of the oldest, most traditional foods in human history. They are packed with protein, fiber, and iron. 1 cup of cooked lentils can give you nearly the same protein as a couple of eggs, and they cost just a fraction of the price. Not only that, they're rich in fiber, which supports digestion, balances blood sugar, and keeps you fuller for longer. That means you're not only feeding your muscles, you're feeding your entire body in a way that supports longevity. Now think about oats. Most people see oats as just a breakfast food, but oats contain both protein and complex carbohydrates, making them a great energy and muscle food. Pair oats with peanut butter, nuts, or yogurt, and you have a powerful, balanced meal that fuels your muscles, keeps you satisfied, and costs almost nothing compared to a steak or omelet. Another overlooked gem is peanut butter. For years, people have been afraid of peanut butter because of the fat content, but here's what most don't realize: those are healthy fats. Healthy fats support hormone balance, joint health, and energy levels. And peanut butter also contains protein. When combined with whole grain bread, you get a complete protein source that's just as effective for muscle building as eggs, and it's delicious, simple, and cheap. Then we have canned tuna or sardines. These are often ignored because they're not glamorous, but they are one of the best, most affordable sources of protein and omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fight inflammation, improve recovery, and help your muscles heal after exercise. And here's the beauty: you don't need to eat fresh salmon at $20 a pound. A simple can of tuna for a couple of dollars gives you what you need. That's the truth about nutrition. It doesn't have to be fancy to be effective. Cottage cheese is another superstar. It's inexpensive, it's versatile, and it's rich in casein protein, which digests slowly. That means if you eat cottage cheese in the evening, your muscles are being nourished with protein throughout the night. Eggs can't give you that same slow, sustained release, and when you're older, keeping muscle nourished overnight is one of the most important things you can do to fight muscle breakdown. I want you to really see the bigger picture here. The food industry and even parts of the fitness world have made us believe that only animal proteins like eggs, chicken, and steak can keep us strong. But your body doesn't care whether the amino acids, the building blocks of protein, come from an egg or a bean. What matters is that you're giving your muscles enough of them consistently, day after day. When you combine foods like beans with rice, peanut butter with oats, or dairy with nuts, you're creating complete proteins that are just as powerful as eggs, and sometimes even better because of the extra fiber, minerals, and antioxidants. Now, my friends, don't get me wrong. I am not telling you to throw away eggs or stop eating them. If you enjoy eggs, keep them in your diet. But don't limit yourself. Don't think that you can't build muscle because you can't afford eggs every day. Don't think you're missing out because you don't have animal protein at every meal. That is simply not true. You have options, healthy, affordable, powerful options that can fit into your lifestyle and your budget. The real key is consistency. It doesn't matter if you eat eggs one day and beans the next. What matters is that your muscles are consistently getting the fuel they need. What matters is that you're feeding your body balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats every single day. And when you do that, when you nourish your muscles with these affordable foods and pair it with even simple movements like walking, light weights, or stretching, your body will respond. You will feel stronger. You will have more energy. You will protect yourself from falls, from weakness, from losing your independence. So remember this message, my friends. Eggs are great, but they are not the only option. Never feel discouraged because you can't eat what others are eating. Never feel like you're too limited or too old to build muscle. Your body is a miracle. It will use the nutrients you give it, no matter the source, to rebuild, to repair, and to keep you strong. Don't underestimate the power of simple, affordable foods that can carry you through your later years with energy, strength, and independence. And that's what life is really about: staying active, staying healthy, and enjoying every precious moment with the people you love. May God bless you with wisdom to choose the right foods, the discipline to stay consistent, and the strength to keep your muscles and body strong for many years to come. Let's get right into it. I want to share with you 7 powerful, inexpensive foods that can help you build and maintain muscle even at 70 years old and beyond. These foods are not exotic, they're not expensive, and they're not complicated. They're simple, everyday foods that can fit into your lifestyle, your budget, and your body's needs. And remember this: your body does not care if protein comes from a steak, an egg, or a bean. It only cares that it gets the building blocks it needs to repair, to grow, and to keep you strong. So let's take a closer look at these 7 muscle building treasures. The first food is lentils. Lentils have been a staple in human diets for thousands of years. They're small, but they're mighty. 1 cup of cooked lentils can give you nearly 18 grams of protein, along with iron, magnesium, and fiber. That's more than enough to feed your muscles, energize your body, and support your digestive health. Lentils are also dirt cheap. You can buy a whole bag for just a few dollars and it will last you weeks. Lentils keep you full, they balance your blood sugar, and they're easy to cook. Put them in soups, stews, salads, or even make lentil patties. Every serving is a step towards stronger, healthier muscles. Second on our list is chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. These little round beans are protein powerhouses. A single cup has around 15 grams of protein plus complex carbohydrates that give you lasting energy. That means you're not just feeding your muscles, you're fueling your whole body for the day. Chickpeas are also rich in magnesium, which helps relax muscles and prevents cramping. You can roast them for a crunchy snack, blend them into hummus, or add them to salads. And the best part, they're affordable, shelf-stable, and available almost everywhere. Next, let's talk about peanut butter. Yes, peanut butter. For years, people have been afraid of peanut butter because of its fat content, but these are healthy fats, the kind your body needs for energy, hormone balance, and brain health. Peanut butter also contains protein, about 8 grams in just 2 tablespoons. Spread it on whole grain toast, add it to oatmeal, or dip apple slices in it. Peanut butter is not only delicious, it's a cheap and effective way to add protein and healthy calories to your diet. And when you're older and trying to maintain or gain muscle, those calories are just as important as protein. Now let's move on to oats. Most people think of oats as a breakfast food, but they are so much more. Oats provide slow digesting carbohydrates that give you steady energy throughout the day, and they also contain protein. When you combine oats with milk, yogurt, nuts, or peanut butter, you're creating a balanced muscle-building meal that's inexpensive and incredibly effective. Oats also help lower cholesterol, support heart health, and improve digestion. That means you're not just building muscle, you're protecting your heart and your overall health at the same time. Fifth on the list is canned tuna or sardines. My friends, don't underestimate these humble little cans. They are loaded with high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are critical for reducing inflammation, improving recovery, and keeping your joints healthy. That's especially important as we age because our bodies don't recover as quickly as they used to. Tuna and sardines are affordable, portable, and last a long time in your pantry. You can put them in salads, sandwiches, or eat them straight out of the can. They may not be glamorous, but they're powerful, and your muscles will thank you for it. The sixth food is cottage cheese. This is one of my favorites for older adults because it contains casein protein which digests slowly. That means if you eat cottage cheese before bed, your muscles are getting fed all night long. This helps prevent muscle breakdown while you sleep and supports recovery. Cottage cheese is also rich in calcium, which strengthens bones, and it's relatively low in cost compared to other protein sources. You can eat it plain, mix it with fruit, or even blend it into smoothies. It's versatile, affordable, and one of the best foods you can add to your diet for muscle health. Finally, we have beans, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, and more. Beans are an incredible source of protein, fiber, and essential nutrients. And when you combine beans with rice or another whole grain, you get a complete protein with all the essential amino acids your body needs. Beans are also great for your gut health, your blood sugar, and your heart. They're inexpensive, they last a long time, and they can be used in endless ways: soup, salad, stews, or simply as a side dish. They may not look fancy, but they are one of the most powerful muscle-building foods on the planet. Now, my friends, think about what we just went over. Lentils, chickpeas, peanut butter, oats, canned tuna or sardines, cottage cheese, and beans. None of these foods are expensive. None of these foods require complicated recipes. And yet each one is loaded with the nutrients your muscles crave. These are foods that can keep you strong, energized, and independent no matter your age. The key is to make these foods part of your daily routine. Don't just eat them once in a while. Make them staples, rotate them, combine them, and find ways to enjoy them. Because when your muscles are consistently fueled with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, they respond. They grow stronger. They protect your bones. They stabilize your joints. And most importantly, they give you the ability to live your life on your own terms. Walking, climbing, lifting, and moving with confidence. So remember, you don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to rely only on animal protein. You don't need to break your budget. These 7 cheap foods are proof that muscle health is within your reach. Your body is waiting for you to give it the fuel it needs. And when you do, it will reward you with strength, vitality, and independence for years to come. Let's take a deep breath together and really let this sink in. We've talked about muscle loss, we've talked about the importance of protein, and we've talked about different foods that can help us build strength at any age. But now I want to share with you something even more powerful, something that can either make or break your results, something that can either keep you strong and vibrant or leave you frustrated and tired. And that is the principle of balance and consistency. You see, too many people think that one single food, one single exercise, or one single supplement will transform their health overnight. They believe that if they just eat eggs every morning, or take protein powder, or lift weights once in a while, they will magically become stronger. But my friends, it doesn't work that way. Health is not built in a day. Muscles are not built in a week. Strength is not created by one good meal. It is created through balance and consistency, through the small decisions you make every single day that add up over weeks, months, and years. Let me explain what I mean by balance. Your body is a masterpiece designed to function in harmony. Every organ, every cell, every muscle works together. When one part is neglected, the whole system suffers. Balance means giving your body what it needs. Not too much, not too little, but just enough to keep everything running smoothly. That means balancing your protein with healthy carbohydrates, balancing your fats with fiber, balancing your exercise with rest, and balancing your work with relaxation. For example, if you eat plenty of protein but neglect vegetables, you're missing vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect your muscles from inflammation. If you exercise every day but never give your body rest, you're breaking down muscle instead of building it. If you only focus on strength training but ignore stretching, your muscles become tight and your joints become vulnerable. Balance is about looking at the whole picture, not just one piece of it. Now let's talk about consistency. This is the real key, my friends. Because the truth is, anyone can eat healthy for a day. Anyone can go to the gym once. Anyone can get motivated after watching a video or reading an article. But what separates success from failure, strength from weakness, independence from dependence is consistency. It's what you do when no one is watching. It's what you do on the ordinary days, when you're tired, when you're busy, when you don't feel like it. Consistency is where the real power lies. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s who transformed their lives not because they did anything extreme, but because they made small, consistent changes. They started walking 15 minutes every day. They started adding beans, lentils, or oats into their meals. They cut back on processed foods, and slowly, day by day, their strength returned, their balance improved, their energy soared. That is the magic of consistency. It builds results that last. Think of it this way. Imagine 2 people planting a tree. One person waters the tree once with a big bucket of water and then forgets about it for weeks. The other person waters the tree with a small cup every single day. Which tree will grow stronger? Which tree will survive? It's the same with your body. It's not the big dramatic efforts that matter. It's the small, steady habits repeated over time. Now, I know that some of you may struggle with consistency. Life gets busy, health challenges come up, motivation fades. But here's the good news. You don't need perfection. You don't need to be perfect every single day. What you need is persistence. If you fall off track, get back on. If you miss a day, start fresh the next. Consistency is not about never failing. It's about never quitting. balance and consistency also protect us from burnout. Many people start with enthusiasm, going on extreme diets or intense workout programs, only to crash and give up. That's because they didn't build balance into their approach. They didn't create something sustainable. The goal is not to push yourself so hard that you can't continue. The goal is to find a rhythm that you can maintain for the rest of your life. That's what will keep your muscles strong, your heart healthy, and your mind clear. And let me share another truth with you, my friends. Balance is not only about food and exercise, it's also about your mental and emotional health. Stress, negativity, and worry can break down your body just as much as poor diet. Balance means finding joy, practicing gratitude, connecting with loved ones, and nurturing your spirit. A strong body without a peaceful mind is incomplete. True health comes when the body, mind, and soul are all in harmony. So how do you apply this principle of balance and consistency to your daily life? Start simple. Choose 1 or 2 changes you can commit to every day. Maybe it's walking after dinner. Maybe it's replacing sugary snacks with a handful of nuts. Maybe it's adding lentils to your meals twice a week. Small steps repeated consistently create big transformations. And as those habits become part of your life, you can add more. I want you to remember something very important. Your future health is not determined by what you did years ago. It's determined by what you do today, tomorrow, and the next day. Every meal is a chance to nourish your body. Every step is a chance to strengthen your muscles. Every night of rest is a chance to heal and recover. Don't underestimate the power of these daily choices. They add up, they matter. They create the person you will be in the years ahead. So let's commit, my friends. Let's commit to balance, not extremes, not quick fixes, but harmony in all areas of health. Let's commit to consistency, not perfection, not short bursts of effort, but steady, sustainable habits. Because balance and consistency are the foundation of lasting strength. They are the keys to building muscle, protecting independence, and enjoying a full, vibrant life at any age. May God bless you with the wisdom to find balance, the courage to stay consistent, and the strength to live every day with health and vitality. Stay strong, stay steady, and remember your body is your temple, and it responds to the love and consistency you give it. I want to share something with you that may be the most important lesson of all when it comes to protecting your health, your strength, and your independence as you grow older. We've talked about the foods that build muscle, we've talked about balance and consistency, but now we come to the secret that ties everything together. And that secret is this: exercise plus nutrition equals strength. You cannot have one without the other if you truly want to stay strong, energized, and independent in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine you buy the finest fuel for your car, high-octane gasoline, the best of the best, but then you leave your car parked in the garage and never turn on the engine. What happens? The fuel sits there unused, the car begins to rust, and eventually the whole system breaks down. That's what happens when you eat healthy foods but don't move your body. The fuel goes in, but there is no signal to your muscles to use it, no demand for growth, no stimulation to stay strong. Now let's imagine the opposite. You drive your car every day, pushing it hard, but you never put in quality fuel. You use dirty gasoline, or you don't refill the tank at all. The engine begins to sputter, parts wear out, and eventually the car breaks down. That's what happens when you exercise but neglect your nutrition. Your body works, sweats, and strains, but without the right fuel, without enough protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals, it cannot repair itself. It cannot grow. Instead, it weakens. Do you see what I'm saying, my friends? Nutrition and exercise must work together. One without the other will never give you lasting results. When you combine them, however, something incredible happens. Your muscles are not only protected, they are strengthened. Your bones are not only preserved, they are fortified. Your energy is not only restored, it multiplies. Let's talk about the role of exercise first. Exercise is the signal that tells your body we need more strength here, we need to repair and rebuild. When you lift a weight, even a small one, you create tiny micro tears in your muscle fibers. This might sound scary, but it's actually a good thing. Your body responds by repairing those tears and making the muscle a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger than before. That's how strength is built. The same goes for resistance bands, push-ups against the wall, squats in a chair, or climbing stairs. It's not about how heavy the weight is, it's about sending the message to your muscles that they are needed. Now let's add nutrition into the picture. After you exercise, your muscles are like dry sponges waiting to soak up nutrients. They need protein for repair, carbohydrates for energy, and healthy fats for recovery. If you feed them properly, they rebuild stronger. If you don't, they weaken. This is why so many older adults struggle with muscle loss. They might be moving their bodies, but they're not eating enough protein to support the repair process. It's also why some people eat protein but don't move. The fuel goes in, but the muscles never get the message to grow. Exercise and nutrition also work together for your bones. Resistance training strengthens not only muscles but also bones, reducing the risk of fractures. But bones also need calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium from foods like cottage cheese, oats, beans, and leafy greens. Without the nutrition, the exercise is less effective. Without the exercise, the nutrition has no direction. It's a partnership, and both sides are equally important. I want you to picture this in your daily life. Imagine you go for a walk every morning. That's excellent. You're moving, you're circulating blood, you're keeping your heart healthy. But now imagine that after your walk, you come home and have a bowl of oatmeal with peanut butter, or lentils with rice, or cottage cheese with fruit. Now your muscles not only got the stimulation from walking, but they're being fed the nutrients to recover and strengthen. That's the formula for lasting strength. And here's something else, my friends. Exercise without nutrition can actually harm you. If you push your body without fueling it properly, you break down muscle instead of building it. Your energy crashes, your joints ache, and your immune system weakens. Likewise, nutrition without exercise can lead to weight gain, sluggishness, and muscle loss, because unused calories get stored as fat and unused muscles begin to shrink. This is why I keep telling you, it's not about extremes, it's about harmony. Eat well, move daily, rest deeply. Each part supports the other. When you nourish your body with protein, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, and plenty of water, your exercise produces amazing results. When you move your body consistently, your nutrition becomes even more powerful. That's when the magic happens. That's when you start to feel stronger, more stable, more confident, and more alive. Some of you may be thinking, Doc, I'm too old to exercise. My friends, you are never too old. I've seen people in their 80s and 90s start with simple chair exercises, resistance bands, and light weights, and within weeks they notice more energy, better balance, and stronger legs. And when they paired those exercises with affordable foods like beans, lentils, oats, or canned tuna, they saw even greater improvements. It's never too late to begin. Your body is designed to adapt, no matter your age. Others may be thinking, Doc, I can't afford fancy foods. My friends, you don't need fancy foods. Lentils, chickpeas, beans, oats, peanut butter, cottage cheese, canned tuna. These are all inexpensive, powerful, and widely available. It's not about spending more, it's about choosing wisely and staying consistent. So here's my challenge to you. Every day, combine movement with nourishment. If you walk, fuel your walk with protein. If you lift weights, follow it with a meal that repairs your muscles. If you stretch, hydrate with water, and eat foods that support your joints. Make every choice count, because when exercise and nutrition work together, your body responds with strength, vitality, and resilience. My friends, your muscles are your engines. They are what keep you moving, balanced, and independent. Don't let them shrink away from neglect. Don't fuel them without using them, and don't use them without fueling them. Honor them with both exercise and nutrition, and they will carry you through your golden years with dignity, independence, and joy. May God bless you with the discipline to move, the wisdom to nourish, and the strength to live each day with power and vitality. Stay consistent, stay balanced, and always remember your body is your greatest gift, and how you care for it determines the quality of your life.